Hello everyone and welcome back to GTA Online with Longclaw, Valerian Steel, where we always deliver. I've been getting a lot of questions about the original scope out mission. So this is the very first mission that you have to take on once you've purchased your submarine. A lot of the players that I've been helping out have now bought their submarine. They've gone to the music locker, purchased the sub and launched the mission, and the first thing that they're asked to do is go and meet English Dave and Kind of Music at the private terminal at the LSIA. And a lot of people are saying that they're struggling with this mission, and at first I was confused because I don't remember it being that hard, but then the more I think about it, there was a lot of checkpoints to take on, and there were a lot of things that Pavel asks you to do, and there's a lot of opportunity for the guards to grab you, and it becomes a bit frustrating for some of the newer players and the lower ranked players who are not experienced. It can be a little tricky, so I've been helping some of my followers to get this mission bagged so they can then begin the Cayo Perico journey for themselves. Of course, this is the first scope out mission that you need to do before you can do any other setup, so it is a mandatory mission. So let's take a look at how I did this with one of my followers and some of my crewmates. So once you arrive at the terminal, you will basically see a cutscene with English Dave that features Dr. Dre, for example, and then you are taken to the island of Cayo Perico where you meet El Rubio, and this is your very first and the only opportunity you get to lay eyes on the famous drug lord. He is the main protagonist of the Cayo Perico heist, and basically you hear his voice a lot as you're robbing him inside the compound, but you never get to see him again. So this cutscene is the only chance to do that, and the first thing you must do is just drive him around the island to the party, and that's the purpose of your visit to Cayo Perico. He's having a party, there are lots of celebrities there, and you've managed to get a honorary invite as part of English Dave's entourage. It's quite a long cutscene that you must go through, and eventually you get to a point where you can then start moving around. And I think what most people are trying to do is disappear somewhere at this point, but unfortunately you do need to wait 5 minutes or so, just because that's the whole purpose of that scene. You're basically there to listen to Kind of Music. Eventually Pavel starts talking to you, and one of the guards from the pathways walks away, and you have a chance to sneak out through the main gate, and this is the only way that you can begin your scope out missions. The repeat scope out missions that you do are much easier than this, but you do have to go the same way. Of course, you just dropped off at the airport and then you're off and running in a free mode version of the island, but it's not completely free mode. You are restricted, you can get caught by the guards. So wandering about on the island is easy enough. You just avoid the scope of all of the guards that are around. Now you can see the tower ahead of me, that's where we're headed, but before you can get there you need to take a photo of the outside of El Rubio's compound, and then Pavel will give you the location of the tower. Of course, once you've done it a few times you know that that's what you're looking for, and you need to climb up to the tower, and the host of the heist, or the leader of the heist, is going to have to hack the security feeds, and then you get to watch the security feed, and this is the only time you get to see this. Most of the time in the repeat scope outs you'll just be looking at whatever's in the vault, whatever's around. You won't see any of this. So what you're watching here is El Rubio feeding someone, some unfortunate person, to his panther. If you're not the heist leader, you see whatever random object is inside the case, but the heist leader will see the Madrasco files. An important feature here is that you then jump off the tower and head for this boat which is parked in front of the compound, and this will allow you to scope out the drainage tunnel, and I've shown this a few times in my videos, but do this in this first mission and then you never need to do it again. Once you swim down it will tell you that you've scoped out the drainage tunnel, then head to meet up with everybody else. I did this with 3 crew members, and if one of you gets caught, that person gets sent back to their airport, and the rest of you are still wandering around. So just make sure you meet up and stick together. We just got in a van and drove around, and there are a few different things that Pavel asks you to do. For example, taking photos of stock inside of the one of the warehouses. It's actually some coke or something like that. And also to take photos of the docks and certain features and things like the bolt cutters, because these are things you could use in a heist. There are also non-mandatory things that you can scope, like this airport landing and things like that. And before you can go, the last thing that Pavel asks you to do is take a photo of the signal tower, and that's so that if you did want to call in airstrikes and things like that, he's able to do that. Once you've done that, you're able to then head to the cafe on the airstrip and ask the pilot to take you back to Los Santos, and that's the end of the scope up mission. So provided you manage to do all of those things, think of it like checkpoints. You must first get out of the party, and that's your checkpoint there, and then you must first take a photo of El Rubio's compound and then get up the tower, and then you're free to follow Pavel's instructions, and that's it. Let me know how you get on with it. Take care of each other out there and stay safe, and I'll see you next time.